Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to talk about how to read CSV data in Python. You already worked with TXT file and you also worked how to navigate from one folder to another folder, from one location to another location. And today we are going to talk about how to read CSV data in Python. As you can see, there's a challenge if you do some repetitive task manually. Okay, imagine you are tracking weather data daily, and recording data manually is tedious and time consuming. So what if you could automate this? So Python introduced some really powerful libraries to do it automatically. In Python, we fetch past data from internet and process it automatically. Okay, so Python is a very powerful programming language that you can use Python libraries to work with weather data, to analyze some data. Okay, so in this case we will work with a simple weather data. I have already created a data set, and in this data set we have some informations regarding days, regarding, for example, temperature, and also the weather condition. You export CSV and you download, and then you create a new folder in your CSV code, and finally you upload this weather data into that folder. Okay. Before I want to work with that file, you have to understand what CSV file is. What is CSV? CSV stands for comma separated value. It is simple universal format for storing tabular data. And in tabular data, each row represents a record, and values within each row are separated by a comma. So this is called CSV file. We have an example. For example, we have a day. In this case, this is weather data. We have day, we have temperature, we have condition. And for a day, you can see we have a different day, for example, Wednesday, Tuesday, and also Monday, Thursday. And for temperature, we also have a specific value, and similarly for conditions as well. So this file is called CSV. You can see all these files are separated by a comma: day, temperature, and condition. So this is CSV file. CSV file is very popular for storing data which comes from sensors, which comes from, for example, robots, and also we use it to store temperature data, okay, in our case. So I have a CSV file, and I will show you how to create a folder and how to read that file in using Python. Okay, now I want to come in this location. I have you can see I have a weather data. I have already created this folder in my Windows, and now I want to remove this one because I have already worked. So I have this data. Now how can I use this folder in my CSV code? There are many ways. The first way and easiest way is to write cmd. Now once you open cmd, you write code. Okay, okay, this is one way to open a folder in your VS Code. Now once you opened in this folder, in this case reader, in your VS Code, you can create a file, Python file, for example. We say reader.py. Now I have a Python file as well. This is one way to open a folder or a project in your VS Code. And the second way is to write on file in VS Code, and then you can see we have an option open folder. After you open folder, you go to that location and you select the folder that you want to open. In this case, I have reader folder and I want to open that. Okay, once you open the folder, and you can see I have right now two files inside the folder, reader and reader data. Right now what I'm trying to do, I want to read the data inside this folder. You can see I have date, temp and condition. I want to open this data with a Python file. So there are many ways. The first way is that you already work with TXT file. Okay, you use Python, for example, function, in this case open, as you said. I already explained the absolute path and relative file path. In this case, since the Python file and CSV data is located at the same location, we use relative path. If you remember from our previous section, right now I use relative file path because these two files are located at the same location. Okay, now name of the file, in this case reader data.csv. as reader data, it should be stored inside this variable. After you open that, now I use this reader data. I want to read the content inside that, and I want to store inside a variable, for example data. Now I want to print that data. As you can see, I can display or read the same content that is inside this CSV file. Okay, this is one way. But as you can see, if we have a very complex file and if you want to work with a row and you want to represent different lines, or if you want to simplify your file, this is maybe not difficult for you, but if for those people who are not from computer background, it might be difficult for them. So you use different function. For example, if you want to simplify this, you write a function different lines. It displays your data inside arrays. And let me, you can see right now we have all data inside our array. In this case, in list, sorry, not array. So this is one way to extract data from your CSV file. We have already worked with the TXT file as well, but this is not really helpful, and I want to comment this code. There are another way, and Python developer created a library which is called CSV. So you can also use CSV library to work with CSV file. So if you want to work with CSV library, first you have to import that. After you import this library, right now you will be able to read, okay, this file, the content inside this CSV file. So right now you write CSV dot, there is a function, a reader, CSV reader. You can see reader. Now after you read, you have to store, for example, inside a variable which is called data. Now if I want to print the content of data, let's see what will happen. Expected at least one argument. CSV data. Expect at least one argument and got data. Okay, let me check my slide. Oh, I made a huge mistake. I didn't open that. I directly read the file. That's why it gives me an error. Open, and then you write the name of your file, .csv as with data. Now you use read function. Okay, first you have to open your file, then you can use read function. csv.reader, and in this case, what do you want to read? You read this data file, or for example in this case vidar data, and you store this inside another variable which is called data. Okay, now if you want to print the data, let's see what will happen. As you can see, we have an object at this location of the memory, and we didn't display the actual data like this. Now how to display the actual data? As I said, we are working with a row and column. Okay, in this case you use for loop to represent each row in each column. So in this case, for row in data, now I want to print that row. Now let's see. You can see right now we have a much clear and insightful data in our file. In Python file, you can extract much insightful and valuable data with your Python file. Okay, for example, for day we have Monday, Tuesday and Sunday, and for temperature we have this value, temperature degree, and for condition we can see sunny and cloudy, something like that. So this is another way that you use CSV library to work with CSV data, to extract data from CSV file. Okay, so this is one way, and we have another library which is called Pandas. Pandas is a very powerful library used to extract data from different file formats. In this case, we use it to extract data from CSV file as well. So first of all, you have to understand what is Pandas. What is Pandas? Pandas is a powerful Python library specifically designed for working with a tabular data. It simplifies reading, manipulating, and analyzing CSV file. You can not only use it for tabular data, but you can use it for many file formats, txt, dot, and so whatever, JSON, and so on. Okay. If you want to use Pandas, first you have to install Pandas in your VS Code or in your PyCharm or whatever IDE you use. You have to install this. How to install this? You go to your IDE terminal and you write pip install Pandas. In this case, in my case, I already installed this. As you can see, to update, since I have already installed this, it asks me to update, so I don't want to update. So once you install the Pandas in your IDE, now it is ready to use. If you want to understand more idea about Pandas, you go and Google it. For example, Python Pandas. You will find official website. In this case, this is official website about Pandas. As you can see, we have if you want to get start with Pandas, and there are some tutorials. It show you installation instruction, how to install. As you can see, we have a Python for data analysis. You use Pandas, NumPy, and you use Jupyter. So this is all information that you need. For example, if you want to understand about how different function in your, you can see it shows first installation, and there are lots of informations about this Python library. Okay, you go and you read this if you need. Okay, now you install Pandas in your IDE. It is ready to use Pandas for analyzing your data. If you want to use Pandas, you go and import, okay, that library. Import Pandas. Import Pandas. Right now it is ready to use. For example, I want to read this CSV data with this library, Python library. I say Pandas, and once you press that notation, you will see it has lots of function and it has lots of functionality. For example, you can see Excel file, for example, Excel writer, and in this case you can also read Excel file. For example, you have JSON, and you can see, for example, read HDF, read HTML, read JSON, and there are many file formats that you use this library to read those file format. Okay, in this case I am working with CSV file, so I want to read CSV. You can see this is read CSV function. So now after that you have to which file do you want to read. You have to specify the name of the file. In this case, vidar data.csv. Once you read that, you store inside this data variable. Now you want to print the data to extract content from this file, CSV file. Okay, so let me run my code. Let's wait. Now, as you can see, it is more readable right now comparing to the actual file. This is the actual file, and right now in Python file I used Pandas library. You can see this is more readable. For example, for each column and for each row we have different data. You can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you can see we have temperature for the temp, different temperature, and for the condition we have sunny, we have rain, cloudy, and so on. So this is how you read have you read data with a Pandas library? It is very powerful library used to analyze data. It is widely used in data analytics, okay, and data scientists use this library. And that's all for today. Thank you very much, and if you have any question, do not hesitate to contact me.